Shalom. I was watching, because I'm trying to put the correct words together that I really want to convey. All right. So, ever since the targeted individual situation, this is gonna be a targeted individual video, but it's for basically for anybody who's interested in this topic. Ever since the targeted individual situation, it basically put me in a position to have to know, or have to seek to know. So what I mean by that is I had to know myself in order to know the proper way to move forward. So in saying that, I was watching those certain topics, and then also for a disclaimer, I will say that in learning and knowing who I am, I have foundational knowing, and then constantly to know, meaning seeking more information to know better. Some people know better, and some people know what you're trying to do. They know that you're not trying to offend them, but because there are certain motives and actions behind some people's motives and actions, they try to make it something else than what it really is. They know that you're not trying to be offensive. They know that you're not trying to step on them, so to speak. But because they don't want you to be yourself, because that will probably change their paradigm, then they'll try to make what you're doing something else when it's really had nothing to do with them. You have the right to know who you are. So, in saying that, I was watching this video. It was called The White Slave, episode 1 on YouTube. And it basically kind of told the story of a Christopher Columbus kind of situation. And then, in that story, and also don't be offended by this when I say this, because this is a truth, but it's not true in all cases. So it's a truth. In this story, I would call him, I guess they were Spaniards. So I guess from Christopher Columbus's point of view, whatever. And this woman, this Israelite woman, she was basically working in their home, and then the Spaniard lady, which was the man of their house, his wife, the Israelite woman came up, and I guess she was their servant, a slave, whatever, at that time period. Because as I've learned, that the true Israelites and that were not slaves in the beginning until they were put under subjection. So I'm just making that clear, so that's not no announcement that the Israelites are slaves. We were never slaves, but according to the word that of disobedience, that came about. Now, in that story, the Israelite woman dropped a dish or something. She was going to take to the servants, to her. What would you call it? The people who run the house. So she dropped it, and then the Spaniard woman kind of got upset at her and told her husband, and then the other daughter was trying to defend her, the Israelite woman, and then the husband said, "I'm not gonna have this in my house." So he took the woman out back, whipped her a little bit. You can't say a little bit, but he gave her a few lashes. And I said, man, my thought was, boy, I couldn't be paid to be an actor, not even in the movies, to act out that stuff, because I wouldn't want to do it. But come to find out, the husband was secretly sleeping with the Israelite woman, and then the daughter came out and saw the husband, saw her dad, I believe, sleeping, coming on to the Israelite woman who he was having, relations with outside of his marriage. And then oftentimes, and then I'm going two places with this. And then because of all these things that are going on, you have Israelites who they're men. So of course, and then you have the other side who are men, but you have this eternal war that's going on between these nations. So the Israelite men, they capture some of their people, and then the people that's enslaved to these people, they treat them bad. But then I was thinking too, a thought came to my mind, and some people probably get angry at this, but this is not to anger you, but this is just kind of the truth. This even happens today, where women oftentimes causes wars with their mouth. And then don't be offended, that's the truth. If you think about it, that's the truth, man. They cause wars with their mouth, because they put the man on both sides in such a position to challenge their manhood. So from the Spaniard side, make him feel less than a man if you don't do something about this, and playing that, and that's the same spirit that Eve had in the beginning. Even though the Most High told Adam what to do, but she played the mind game with him, because from her own mind. Because they say women are smarter than men. That's what they say. Or at least they're more cunning. So just don't be offended. Just consider this. If it's not true, just let it go out the window. So that woman from that side played the man, but the man really was doing something anyway. So, and then from the other side, they're angry. The Israelites, they're angry. So they raise up and do some things. So then I would say, consider that if you're listening to your woman, make sure your woman is led by the Spirit of the Most Highest. Especially if you're trying to be honorable and right. Make sure she's led by the Spirit of the Most Highest. And then that'll prevent a lot of issues. I'm not saying that women have no input. They have great input. But just make sure she has the right spirit that you're listening to. Also, for the Israelites, not telling you what to do, but just consider. See, right now there's an awakening going on that's been going on. That we're waking up to know who we are. Also, the other nations are basically telling us who we are if we listen. And I posted something on Facebook earlier about the Italians. I don't know much about the Italians, so I'm not putting them out there. I'm just going by information I've learned. I used to hear, and then I was watching a movie, a Bronx Tale, I believe, when he got, I think we got, if I remember correctly, when he got mad, and I've heard this before too, they're called so-called African Americans, Mulians. And I was watching this other video on the drop, not putting out names, but that's where I got the information from the drop. Put out a good video about the term where Mulian and different things like that. Mulian came from the land of Mu. Where they get the term Moor, M-U-U-R. Californians